Hey, scrappy people, it's Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with a real-time process video. This is not sped up at all, so if it feels like a little slower, it is. I'm doing a 6x8 insert for my my album. I was going to say Project Life album, but I don't have a Project Life album. It's going to take a while to get out of that habit. So this 6x8 insert this is obviously the front and the back, but they are telling the same story. It's all one story. If you've been watching my channel at all, especially during my December daily videos, you'll know that I really struggled at the end of 2018 with my Christmas spirit, but really it was with everything. I think that I just, sometimes you go through times when you are sort of low. And that is how I was feeling starting around September of 2018 and moving all the way through January of 2019. I'm sort of pulling myself together, feeling a little bit better at the end of this year, but, still sort of struggling a little, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I can't say for sure that I'm pulling out of it right now, but I definitely feel better than I did then. But anyway, this spread is sort of talking about how I've been coping with my my feelings and where I've been mentally for the last few months. I'm using Allie Edwards products. From the Rest Kit and from the Habit Kit. I think those are the only two. I know those puffy stickers are from the Seasons Kit, but mostly the Rest Kit and the Habit Kit. And I took two different photos of my feet, and I know that people hate feet photos, but I'm actually a really big fan of the whole where I stand, what things look like right now. And one set of feet photos is in the bathtub. I take a lot of baths when I'm not feeling mentally very well. And I guess when I'm not feeling physically very well either. Baths are a really big form of self-care for me. And then the other one is on a scale. And I've kind of manipulated the photo in Photoshop. And I made the whole center of the scale black. And I took out the part where it has the weight reading. And instead I made it all black and added text in Photoshop. And obviously there's a lot of writing as well on the journaling cards. This is a really important story for me and a really good reminder for me. So on the bath side of the layout, that journaling card is talking about rest and how resting is healthy and how there are different ways that I have been giving myself rest, one of which it might be taking a bath every day at night, another of which has been giving my weight loss journey a bit of a rest too. Now I have been maintaining and trying to stick around a weight range, but the active trying to lose the last 20 or so pounds that I have to lose has definitely been put on the back burner since around September. And it says on that card, sometimes self-care is stepping off the scale and sometimes self-care is getting back on when you're ready, because obviously, I've lost 60 pounds, so obviously emotional eating is a thing with me, and sometimes self-care is allowing myself the space to emotional eat, I suppose, or to take care of myself in that way. But self-care is also knowing when to stop and when to take care of my health when I'm feeling a little bit better. So that is what that remembering card basically says, and a few other things about rest that I actively resist, like napping. Just an encouragement that it is all okay how I choose to take care of myself. Then the journaling on The scale itself is talking about how the number on the scale is not a reflection of my value as a human. It is simply a reflection of how I'm feeling mentally, whether or not I'm emotionally eating or whether or not I'm feeling well enough to take care of myself as well as I take care of other people. And that was an acknowledgement of the fact that I do spend my whole life taking care of 3 kids and a husband and making sure everyone is fed and there's a roof over their head and all the bills are paid and everyone is where they need to be and the schoolwork is getting done. And that is a really huge emotional load that most women specifically carry. Not always, but it is a fun fact that women tend to bear the weight, the emotional weight of a family. So that was an acknowledgement that no matter what the scale says, it is not my value. It does not measure anything about the value of me as a human, just measures how I'm feeling mentally. And then the old habit, new habit card talks about how previously I would consider this rest that I've been giving myself as far as losing weight, quote unquote, falling off the wagon. And I would just give up entirely and gain all the weight back. But I've learned since my weight loss journey started again in 2016 that sometimes the best thing that I can do for myself is giving myself this time to rest and regroup and hopefully not gain too much weight. I've only gained about 8 pounds since September, which I've already lost 4 of those pounds since I started back this week. So it's pretty much staying the same. So it's talking about how I can rest and start again and not completely give up. So that's my sermon on my own personal version of healthcare. I'm glad that you came to church today, and I'll see you next Sunday. Anyway, I tell you this because I'm always very completely transparent in my scrapbooking. I don't hide my journaling. I don't scrapbook things that I'm not willing for other people to know and hear. And what I'm really grateful for is subscribing to these Allie Edwards kits, because Allie's products have me look at things differently than I've ever looked at before. And I'm telling my own story, and I'm telling stories that I probably would not have told previously if I had not been inspired by these products. So I'm actually really thrilled to be telling stories like this. And, I have boys, and luckily, obsessing about weight and self-care and the guilt that comes with that is generally a female problem, which is really an unfortunate thing about our society. But since I have boys, I suppose that would be a good thing. So someday when they're reading this, if they ever do, they're not going to relate to this problem, hopefully. They're not going to understand why I obsessed so much over my weight and why I felt guilt about self-care. But it might give them a window into me as their mother at this point in their lives, and might give them perspective someday about parenting and about what it means to sacrifice so much for the people that you are raising and these children that you are bringing up. Or at least that's my hope. So that is why I tell these stories so openly for both them and I suppose the entire internet as I scrapbook. But anyway, you've been watching me put together this layout as I've been 100% babbling. And it's all been very straightforward. This is a 6x8 layout. It is not complicated. It is not, magic tricks that I'm working on the screen here. But these two stories, these two sides of the 6x8 together are really kind of magical. The way that they work together, the way that it tells a more accurate picture of me as a human, and the way that, you know, it allows me to sort of bare my soul a little bit in a safe way for me to, you know, talk about it in my scrapbook and then sort of get that whole emotion out there and into the world so that I'm not, you know, stuffing it. Everything on this page has been Allie Edwards products except for all of these heart puffy stickers. They are definitely in my stash. You saw me pull them out. And I'm just adding them because I felt like this spread needed just a little bit more texture, a little bit more iconography instead of all words all the time. There are so many words on these two spreads between the title cards and the journaling that is everywhere. I just really needed to break all that up just a little bit and add in some, I'm adding some glittery enamel dots here, and then I added some puffy heart stickers. Then I'm going to add one more gold heart to this green card on the left hand side. And I'm going to call this spread done. I know that I babbled a lot in this video, but if you enjoyed it, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I'd love to have you. And if you have anything you'd like to add in the comment section below, please feel free to do that. I would love to hear from you. All right. Thank you.